welcome back to Total Spotfest. I am JJ. He is Jamie. We are coming back at you with another action-packed. I can't say action-packed every week. I gotta get some better adjectives in here. I think, man.
You do. How about stellar?
Stellar.
Rad. I'm a big fan of the word rad. I use it a lot lately. I'm bringing it back.
Hey, we'll bring it back. Remember, every time. I can't not think of the BMX movie whenever I hear rad.
Exactly. It brings you back to a happier time.
Oh, such a happy time. That movie was so ridiculous when you think about it, too.
Oh, that and Gleaming the Cube, both of them.
So ridiculous. Well, totally tubular episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate you giving some of your time if you're checking us out on YouTube. As always, you can get in the conversation by dropping a comment down below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe while you're down there. It does help us out quite a bit. Tell your friends. You can share this as well. If you are listening to us or you just want to holler at us externally, it is at Total Spotfest on Twitter. Jamie, a lot of stuff going on. We got wrestling. We got football back in full force. And I mean, NFL.
Yeah, go Chiefs, baby. Go Chiefs.
Let's go Steelers. Mink of magic.
And this
and
week,
I'm almost fully abandoning college football too, just because this weekend was not good.
what kind of crazy world is KU football
better
2-0
and Mizzou is 1-1? Looks like dog shit. I don't know.
And my Notre Dame Fighting Irish look like they play NAIA because their quarterback decision was terrible. Luckily, he's hurt. I mean, unluckily, I say that. That sounded bad. Let me retract that. Fortunately, we were able to play a different quarterback this week. Hopefully, the other one gets mended. But yeah. Ooh.
I think Mizzou could actually beat Notre Dame if they played each other right now. And that's not saying much for either team.
That's not saying much for either. And I believe you. That's even the worst part. Like,
good news is
score above 14 points. Like, it's crazy.
Good news is NFL is in action, and both Jamie and I have undefeated teams. Yay!
That's very true. And I this week in fantasy football, I'm going against one Greg Jovi.
Be an easy win.
2 girlies, 1 cup is going up against his team. We're favored to win right now.
Jovi, you're going to get blown out, just so you know, Jovi. Story of your life, right?
My team's pretty good. I think my team's pretty good.
There's no Moonshine Mantel to back him up in fantasy football. It's all him, so.
Yeah, he's going to take it on the chin like a chin. No, I don't know. Like, my team could lay an egg. It's possible. I don't like to gloat before it happens. I like to talk shit after it happens. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, that's not. I wouldn't say that's the most truthful statement you've ever said in your life, Jamie. I'm just saying.
When it comes to fantasy football, I'm usually very.
Fantasy football. Okay, all right. Everything else, you're very much before, during, after.
Like, I don't start the shits, I just stir them. No, I start and stir. Like, that's what I do. But football, I'm a little different.
Fantasy football, but your focus.
So let's go right into me stirring some shit.
Let's start some shit. Let's talk about. We can talk about football all day. If you want us to talk about football, tell us down in the comments. But let's start some shit about wrestling.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, PWI 500 just came out, and I am here as your liaison of WTF. I'm just going to give you the top 5. Just give you the top 5. We'll start there.
Oh, you're doing just 5? Okay. Oh, okay.
we'll start there. That's how I want to put it this way. Number 1. Actually, we'll start 5. Let's just reverse it. Number 5, Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
I
go through them first, and then because
number 4, Adam Hangman Page. Okay. Number 3, Mr. CM, I hate you, Punk.
CM, I'm pissing everybody off, Punk. Okay.
Yeah, gonna be without a job. Yeah. not gonna work here very much longer. Okada is number 2, and your new number 1 ranked wrestler. Acknowledge him, Roman Reigns. So there was a theme on this. Tons of surprises. Tons and tons of surprises.
A lot.
I feel some people were way undervalued, and I feel some people were way overvalued. See Cody Rhodes, who hasn't wrestled in 6 months. He's the number 6 wrestler this year.
And if you go out to the rest of the top 10, not only do you have Cody Rhodes, you have Bryan Danielson at 7. Higel del Vikingo at 8. Remember, put a pin there. Big E at 9 and Jonathan Gresham at 10. So
Big E hasn't wrestled since February, right?
Right, when he broke his freaking neck. Which Big E was on fire, but he almost died and he hasn't been wrestling. You might ask yourself, what about somebody like, I don't know, Jon Moxley? Where is Moxley?
He is 12th.
And I read this because people immediately went to that. They went to the whole, they were expecting it to be a fight for the top between Mox and Roman Reigns,
which would make sense.
That does.
Would make sense for top
whether you like him or not, Roman is the lead guy. He's the main events every pay-per-view. Whatever. Okay, all right. We're not getting into that substance today. We've done that. If you've been with us for a while, we've been on that horse for a bit.
And for that, I will acknowledge him.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely a top 5 wrestler. No qualms about it.
He is 100% face of the company, sells the shirts. He's been champion for 600 days, right? Oh, okay, cool. Give him his credit.
Got it. Yeah.
But PWI's response back, because they had several responses. One of them was like the omission of Cash Wheeler. It was a clerical error. He wasn't on the 500. And you're telling me Cash Wheeler is not one of the 500 best wrestlers in the world? You, sir, are drunk. But they said that they take into account a lot of factors, and one of those was time off. They basically flat out in their response said that his rehab stint cost him a spot in the top 10. But Big E.
He must have had an amazing 1.5 months.
I mean,
like that just doesn't like. There's a few other things like, MJF being 16. I feel like that's right on the nose. I think he's a top 20 wrestler. Sure. I'm going to give them props there. One of the big highlights in a positive way was AC Mack coming in at 25. That dude's amazing. We've seen him at Journey Pro. We've seen him at Wrestling Revolver. Home dude is good.
I mean, he 100% deserves all that. I'm not arguing with that at all. If you look in that second level there where you've got AC Mack in at 25, what was it? 27, I believe.
Was Mr. Ospreay?
Was Will Ospreay? Are you
the greatest wrestler that walks this earth? Fight me if you think otherwise.
So here's where I'll pull that pin out. Okay, the two men who deserve to be in the top 10 and top 5, really, top 6. Cody Rhodes, no. Lashley, okay, Lashley's getting his due. I have no problem with Lashley.
Yeah.
Higel del Vikingo and Will Ospreay are two of the best, if not the best, two in the world, right?
Yeah.
And there's no excuse to not wrestling, They both have done plenty of things, especially Ospreay. Ospreay runs a promotion in England, wrestles in Japan, plus he wrestles in America as much as possible. How is he 27? I mean,
you're telling me Braun Breaker is better. Braun Breaker is better than Will Ospreay.
I'm not telling you that. PWI is telling you that.
You telling me Drew McIntyre is better than Will Ospreay?
I'll tell you what, I actually would really like to see a Drew McIntyre Will Ospreay match.
I mean, we just have to split that right now, and I'm kind of here for it.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Yeah, but it's like there's just, and that's what, to me, that was the biggest takeaway is just oddities like that, right? It's like, why is he that far down, right? And then like some of their explanations are just weird, right? You know, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I really like Trisha Dora, okay? And there were, I think, 30 women on the 500, which is odd because there's going to be a women's PWI 500 next week. But whatever. Trisha Dora was the highest ranked woman at 50. She was higher than Jordan Grace at 97 and Masha Slamovich at 110. And as much as I truly do love Trisha Dora, I don't think she should be above either of those two women.
I don't think she should be above 111. Who's Allie Katch? Allie Katch is 111.
Yeah. I mean, it's dude, so...
They have Hook. I love Hook. Don't get me wrong.
Hook, who's done...
I am a Hook guy.
He's done 8 matches.
He's at 124. He's at 124. You're saying that guy is better than Chris Bay, better than Dragon Lee, better than Kenta, just to name a few. I'll scroll down even further. Are you saying he's better than EY, Eric Young? Are you saying he's really better than Max the Impaler? Are you saying that he's better than fucking Miro at 242? So, nope. I don't want to put a lot of stock in this anymore. Like,
I stopped putting stock into it a couple years ago, to be honest with you. You know, really putting stock into it.
I'm jumping on that bandwagon. I think they did it to me.
I mean, and you keep going all the way down that stuff, and you think about it. You got QT Marshall at 440 and Shaza McKenzie at 442. Okay. No. What? Anthony Green's at 467. Like, why is he at Anthony Green at 467? That's not even right.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know? And I know that you can't have everybody in the top 10, so you got to have some of that, but where a lot of this fit in was just really weird, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was still good to see some of our friends, people who've been on our show and friends that we've talked to outside be on the list. Frontman Jossie at 207, Masha Slamovich, as you know, Max. Like, it's just good to see quite a few of our people that we've seen and know. Kevin Blackwood's 289. Like, there's a lot of good here because they are recognizing some of the up and coming talent. I do feel like there was a huge ass snub for one Mr. JDX, but we'll get into that later because he is recognized on another list that I think you have prepared. But yeah, like this thing just pissed me off. Like I wanted to be excited when this came out, and I left literally disappointed. This is the Phantom Menace for me.
Okay, I'll give you that.
If you're a Star Wars fan, you got that reference, and it hurt your soul.
It better have hurt your soul. Let's be real. You know,
better have hurt your soul. It did hurt your soul. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any serious wrestling fan out there that can look at this and be like, "Yep, that's 100% correct." You know, the 500, because it's not. There's just oddities there, and not even the oddities. It's the inconsistencies that kills me with it. You know, Big E at 9, but Moxley at 12 because Moxley went to rehab for 3 months, but Big E was physically unable to. So what? Like, no offense to Big E, he shouldn't have been in the top 100. You know, because he only wrestled for a month and a half using their standards, what they said. So, you know, we'll see, because they got 2 more lists coming out, so they got 2 more chances to piss everybody off. The women's list is coming up, and then they'll have I think next month. I said it was next week. I think it's next month. Whatever it is, they have the women's list coming out next. even though they had 30 women on here, which is weird.
So do you think by default Trish Adora is going to be the number 1 ranked woman?
I mean, if you're going to use, I think it has to be, right? Because you say that these are the 500 best wrestlers in the world. And of that, there were 30 women on there. So those 30 women should be 1 through 30, logically speaking, right? Mm-hmm. Which, if you really dive into that, and let me scroll back up to where I had that list of just the women, you have some, I swear I'm almost there. You have some pretty blatant misses because women in this year's PWI 500: Trish Adora, Jordan Grace, Masha Slamovich, Allie Katch, Jordan Blade, Willow Nightingale, Billy Starks, Candy Copeland, Rina Yamashita, Charlie Evans. God, these Twitter handles, I don't know who they are. Davine, sure. Kenzie Page, Session Moth Martina, Edith Surreal. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
Venny, Casey Cattell, Riho. It's not the Riho from AEW. It's the UK Riho. I can't remember her last name. Mickey Knuckles, Lainey Luck. Congratulations, Lainey. Lufisto. Sakiyaki. I probably butchered that. Becca, Kylie Ray, Rebel Kell, Ziggy Haim, Shaza McKenzie, Sawyer Wreck. And that's it.
If it were my list, so let's just preview, because we're gonna talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, when the women's one comes out. You better damn guarantee it. The number 1 woman, in my opinion, I gotta go with either Jordan or Masha.
I think so. The only other ones that would be up in that top there, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, I'm trying to include all. So I think ones that be ranked, ones that should be very high, Britt. Julia. Yeah. I think Britt. I love Julia. I love her so much, but I want to see her.
Maki Ito should be pretty high.
Maki Ito should, but Britt probably should, because of the body of work. Thunder Rosa should be up in that. I think that whether you like her or not, Mandy Rose.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She should be very high in that. Bianca Belair should be very, very near the top.
Is she okay? I recant. She should be number 1. She's an athletic freaking domino. Like, she is just amazing.
Bianca or Jordan. But so what they're saying is that of the 500 best wrestlers out there, Bianca, Mandy Rose, Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Julia, Maki Ito, none of them qualify. But they're going to have a women's 500 here in a month where they're all going to be in the top 20. Right? Or we think. And who knows? Fuck, I don't know.
There's going to be a great chance that they outrank some of these women that are on the top 500.
100%.
Which is going to be... That's going to piss me off even more. I think that's going to be my problem. I'm going to be more pissed off because that happens.
Therein, and I think I have to go back and check the tape, but I think I might have said that drew me crazy last year, right? It's like, you're going to tell me that according to what you said, this is the 500 best wrestlers of the year, right? And you're not making it all men. You're doing men and you're not doing a straight men and women as well, which is good, fine, cool, right? But because of that, you have this number of women, and you're telling me that this is the best woman wrestler because she's the first woman on this list. But you're going to come out a month later with a women's list, and she's not going to be number 1. Trish Adora, I know this. They are not going to put her as number 1 on the PWI Women's 500. Well, why is she the top-ranked woman on this 500? It's inconsistent as shit.
All right.
Well, let's talk about something else that's maybe a little more reliable, right?
Let's change gears.
All right, so that was the PWI 500. I was pleasantly surprised when was released earlier this week. This is not related, not done by Pro Wrestling Insider or whatever. This is the BWI 500, the Black Wrestlers 500. This is male and female combined. And I can't remember who actually put this out here. Who was that? It was the Twitter handle was Grapsody.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a magazine. I apologize. I'm not from. I don't know.
Yeah, Grapsody.
I don't know if that's a magazine or a fan account or whatever. But so they compiled the 500 best black wrestlers, men, women, whatever. Here are your top 10 according to them. Bianca Belair, number 1. Swerve Strickland, Bobby Lashley, Carmelo Hayes, Jonathan Gresham, Ricky Starks, Jade Cargill, AC Mack, Big E, frontman Jossie.
That's a solid lineup.
I don't have much complaint about any of that. I mean, I've complained about Jade Cargill enough. That being said, she is undefeated. She's the only TBS champion, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I mean,
it is what it is.
Again, Big E's hurt, but what he means, yeah, I get it.
I don't think Big E should be that high up on it just because of that.
I don't think so either. I think if it's between him and Trisha Dora again, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Who's 11 and 12.
Fred, Yehai. I butchered his last name.
Yehai.
Lee Moriarty, Brian Keith, Myron Reed. We've seen Myron Reed.
You had Will Nightingale at 18, Sasha Banks in at 21, Naomi at 22. Very interesting to have those two right by each other, I felt like.
Yeah.
Montez at 27. I think Montez at 27, maybe I would put him a little bit higher. And, but you had Rich Swann right below him. JDX, our man, coming in 31.
Justin, number 1 in our hearts, buddy. No, he's. I love seeing him that high. That guy is phenomenal. His name's everywhere. He's wrestled the who's who of professional wrestling, basically at this point.
I gotta see his Takeshita match or Takeshita match. Excuse me. His Takeshita match on. Effie showed it on Monday Night Raw this past week on his Twitch show. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
That's an understatement, sir.
Oh, I've only seen clips of it thus far, but no, I watched it on Effie. Oh, so good. But look, we love you. We love you, Jay. What else was on here? He was above Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. You had Ricochet in at 34, which, I mean, that's in part to his booking, whatever. Keith Lee, 36. Mysterious Q, 39. Trey Miguel, 41. ACH made it at 40.
Yep. ACH is great.
Willie Mack at 50. You had just kind of
Trevor Aeon at 54.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Trevor Aeon.
Another friend of the show there. Absolutely. You had Khan at 63. Sunny Kiss is 69. Sunny Kiss is horribly underutilized, but has a new shirt out, which I'm going to talk about shirts in a second here. What others? We other friends of the show on here as well. Carly Bravo down 86. I think Carly was like 300 something on the PWI as well. So good for her.
Yeah. Carly, if you're listening, we want you on the show.
Respond back to Jamie's question there. Mike Outlaw, 97. Camaro, Quadfather Jackson at 98. Camaro's put in the work for sure this past year and a half. He's always been a big dude. Now he's like a cut dude, and he is just getting better and better. Team Ambition's doing a lot of good things. Like him, Tootie Lynn, all of them over there. Absolutely.
Technical difficulties. Team Ambition is. Whew.
Well, plus Camaro's been putting in. He's been hitting the road hard, man. He's been grinding to get it. So I wish him nothing but the best for sure. Let's see. Yes, some interesting
Marty
ones.
Bell at 242.
Yep. Indeed. Marty Bell making it on the list. You had, I know it was over here in this area. Where is it? Oh, Darian Bankston, our good friend of the show, 205. Right above the Renegade Twins. Good on you. Kenny Alfonso, 205. Let's see. Darian Bankston was 204. Kenny was 205. There we go. Now I got it right.
Love seeing those two together.
I think Kenny should be higher, personally.
I do too. I think Darian should be higher too.
I think he should as well, And there's a lot on here because, there's a lot of... So this is everything from Bianca Belair and Bobby Lashley and Jade Cargill all the way down to somebody who you've never heard of, right? Because they only wrestle in like one region, because whatever, this is just black wrestlers. So it might have made it a little tough, right? Depending on how much some people travel, how much their scope is. But I feel like they did a pretty good job of encompassing quite a bit of this on here. Yeah, but I don't know. Of the two, I felt like this one, and I knew about 80% of the names on here I recognized.
Yeah, I was about 75.
80%, give or take, something like that, right? I feel like they did a pretty good job. I didn't really have any major problems with anything. Because, I can understand Darian and Kenny. Well, they maybe they haven't been in it as long. Maybe they haven't, been to, as many promotions. I don't know. I kind of see where they're at, right? Some of the other people, I can definitely, Darius Lockwood is at 166. Okay, I can see that there too. I can see why he'd be above them. So I felt like it was pretty good representation. So
I agree. I think this one's so much better than the PWI. Like PWI, FU, BWI, let's rock.
That's BWI was the shit, 100%. Oh, who was 500? Who was the last person on BWI? Lash Legend.
Lash Legend.
Just saying. Anyway,
AQA was $4.99.
Yeah, I think
she stepped away for a moment.
She stepped away for a bit. Has some stuff. She has some things going on there, right?
Yeah, good for her though. It's one of those things you just need to do.
You got to take care of things, So, both of those you can find out online for sure. Like I said, we'll talk about it. They're going to have the women's 500 and the tag team 500.
Tag team 500, and if number one tag team is not FTR,
there's something wrong in the world.
I'm done.
Number one better be FTR, and number two better be Aussie Open. I'm sorry.
Over Lucha Bros? That's saying something for you, sir.
Aussie Open's been on fire this year, dude.
They're really good. And
I don't ever want to...
double cheeked up.
Yeah. Double. Okay. All right. Let's moving swiftly on. We got more news. We got some AEW and some WWE stuff we want to talk about. But before we get to that, we do want to have a nod. We've mentioned some of our friends of the show, and speaking of which, if you're not doing anything this Saturday, you can go see some of our friends of the show at a free show in I almost said Leavenworth. Edwardsville, Kansas. Not Leavenworth. Edwardsville, Kansas. The Edwardsville Fall Festival. I'm probably butchering that as well. But whatever, they have a street fair going on.
Fest.
Autumn Fest. See, I can't get anything right. It's Kansas stuff. Sorry, guys. Edwardsville Autumn Fest. Free show going on. What is it about? I think it's Saturday at around 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, 1 to 4.
1 to 4. 2 Eastern.
1 to 4.
Free show over at the Edwardsville Autumn Festival, Journey Pro Showcase. It's going to be outside of kind of the ethos and storylines we have going on regular Journey Pro stuff. But it's going to be great wrestling. It's free. It's going to be at a fall festival. It's fantastic. Journey Pro's next show is set for the end of the month, the 30th. Friday, September 30th. It is Journey Pro presents Wild Thing at the Edwardsville softball fields at the Edwardsville City Park. So just like it was last year, an outside evening show at a baseball diamond. It's a great atmosphere to have a show at.
Good times. Good times had by all.
And we got more matches announced this week.
We did.
Do you have them in front of you there? You want to go? Why don't you go into them a little bit, Jamie?
Yeah, here. Let me pull those up real quick. And we have, just to name a few. I forgot which was the last one that we had actually listed. But we'll just go ahead and run through the entire card that we know of as of right now. And right now we have the matchup of the Howitzer and Mighty Micah going up against the Reckoning. So we'll get to hear some Seek and Destroy. That's pretty solid there.
Mm-hmm.
You get the Premier going against the Bang Bros. They drink Bang energy drinks, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the other one.
We're gonna heckle them so damn much, though.
Oh yeah, and then I did say they're coming on their bus.
Well, yes. Well, it's the Bang Bros plus Trevor Outlaw. So I'm assuming this is the full premiere, right? With Quadfather? It's got to be.
No Quadfather.
Really?
Yeah, he's off doing his own thing on this one. Yeah.
So this is a 2-on-3 or what?
I don't know.
Ooh, questions.
And then we get the returning Heidi Howitzer, which I want to give her a huge shout out here in just a minute. Going up against the debuting
finally
Billy Starks.
Oh.
Fuck you, Missouri Commission, who won't allow an under 18-year-old person to wrestle, but you allow them to box. Since we're going to be
or do MMA. They can do MMA as well.
Yes, they can do MMA and box, but they can't professional wrestle.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, Billy Starks, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Billy Starks, who is on the PW 500. Superstar. She's 17 and she wrestles like she's been in the business for 20 years. She's amazing. We've seen her a couple times now. We saw her at a GCW show and we got to see her at Wrestling Revolver twice.
She's been on amazing. Dynamite.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, so she does a lot of GCW. Tons of GCW as well. Freelance, I believe, is what she does in Chicago mostly. But she's been all over the place. She is a hot commodity. Basically, any place that can book a 17-year-old is booking her ass. She is going to be a big-ass star, y'all.
Yeah. Then, arguably, one of my favorite matches that's been announced. Too sweet. Whoop, whoop. Chris Bay, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Bay.
Let's go.
Going up against friend of the show, Darian Bankston.
Oh my God, give me this match. Oh,
we may have known about it before it was announced. Just so
we did, man. We had to shut the hell up on it for weeks because we were like, Gary J making his return here. Congratulations on fatherdom, Mr. Gary J. Yes. Going up against Sam Beal.
That should be fun.
That should be a really fun match. Really fun match.
And then I'm making friends. With Chicago talent. Christian Rose is going up against Matt Nix, who is the Violet Gentleman or whatever. He is a huge White Sox fan, and obviously, as a Kansas City Royals fan, I got to defend our honor no matter how bad we are. And I basically said, "Fuck the White Sox" to him. It was kind of fun.
Yeah, Jamie squashed some beef with JD Drake when he was in town here, and he's like, I think he has a hole in his heart, so he's trying to rehash it somehow.
Dude, I've made up with people like Heidi and I are cool now because the one ring to rule them all.
Heidi was never not cool with you. She just wanted to punch you in the face a little bit, which is.
I mean, just like my wife, it's fine. It's normal, but
it's different. You and JD were like.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. And then I think the most recently announced match as of yesterday was the commission have a reciprocity agreement apparently with the city of Edwardsville and are bringing their new hired gun to go after Kenny Alfonso. This time their hired gun is Jake. What's his name?
What's my name?
Something. So, by the way,
twice in the last time, I was very proud of it.
Did you look a little closer? Like, of all the baseball cards, if you guys haven't been following Journey Pro, and for those of you not in the Kansas City area, if it's your first time listening, Journey Pro is our favorite local promotion. We're good friends with the owners. We know a lot of the talent, and it's a great, great promotion. They do things right. They have fun shows, good talent, great stuff going on there. On their Twitter, it's worth a follow because they've just been killing it lately. But of all, so you've seen the graphics, all the baseball cards or whatever. I love. For a minute there, I was the Wasteland War parties. I even tweeted out to Max about this because I said, because they used the Wasteland War Party card for Heidi's announcement. And I said, can we take a minute to appreciate how badass they look in the background there? Because, I mean, Max looked bad. But no, I'm sorry. The Commission's baseball card is stellar.
It's pretty good.
That's Agnes on fire behind them.
Yes, which makes it even better. So great job.
It's so good.
Great job, guys.
Anywho, that's a card as far as we know it thus far. Yeah, we're trying to hammer down, get talking to Hartzell and Chris, see if we can't get them on here for a preview because it's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be a really good time, great atmosphere, very family friendly out at the ball field too. So they have kids tickets this time. So definitely, I think you're bringing the girls, aren't you? Or you're thinking about bringing the girls?
I'm at least bringing one, if not three. We'll find out.
It's up in the air. You got one's a teenager.
I might convince Mrs. Faulkner to bite the bullet.
Well, this would be her first wrestling show, would it not?
Well, she's been to like WWE and stuff like that back in the day, but this is her first indie show. She's never been to an indie show. If I can convince her, it'd be worth it. So worth it.
I might have to work on the misses there. Maybe I can lay in a little guilt trip about us missing a trip to Chicago with.
Yeah,
it won't work. I know, Jen. It won't work. So whatever. But. Cool. So yeah, if you're not doing anything in the month and you're in or near Kansas City, you want to see some good independent wrestling, as we always say, come join us. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Well, what we want to do before we get into the rest of our news is every week we like to highlight an independent talent that's out there. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you haven't. Maybe they're on the PWI 500. Maybe they got screwed out of it. Who knows? But either way, we want to turn that spotlight onto one of the independent wrestlers in our independent wrestler spotlight. Jamie, I assume you have somebody ready to go this week.
I do. I really do.
Let's do it.
All right. And these people are not on the list. They are a tag team. It's been a minute since I've done a tag team. I feel like I owe it to them. Let's do some tag team action. And these guys have been on the show, friends of the show. One of them definitely needed to not use his AirPods. But they are on the card for the September 30th show going against the Bang Bros. This is none other than S.K. Bishop, Campbell Myers, the Premier. They are everywhere. They've been trained by Derek Stone, Matt Seidel, and Mr. Luke Langley, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
They are really, really good. They're current champions, I think, of Zero.
0-1.
0-1, yeah.
I think it's 0-1.
I believe it's 0-1 as well. These two guys, phenomenal, good people. SK, if you're listening to this, I'm finally gonna buy a damn hat from you. I know I've been kind of stringing along on that because I only like fitted, but I will bite the bullet just for you, sir, and buy one of your non-fitted hats because I want to support you. Because I can't get your Nintendo 64.
I tried to 3 times order the tie-dye version of that shirt and cannot get it to work.
It bombs out every
time.
Like,
it kills me because it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like just go to Big Cartel or have Mrs. Chen make them for you.
And Campbell, why you don't have an orange colored of your Jason Myers theme shirt is beyond me.
Jason Myers? Who the hell's Jason Myers?
Or Mike Myers, whatever. You know what I meant. I don't.
Mike Myers? Yeah, baby. That Mike Myers or Michael Myers?
Michael Myers. What? Okay.
He's not Mike. Mike Myers does Austin
Okay.
Power.
All right. Yes. Michael Myers themed shirt.
Ring.
Right. He has a black one. If you had an orange one, Jamie would have one of those on him already. Just FYI.
Or a white one. He has the soup shirt. It's all white. If he had a white, he's got a couple shirts he says he's got coming out. Him and I talked about it. He's got a couple ideas.
Okay.
So as soon as I see something, I'll probably be a proud owner of a Campbell Myers shirt. But you can follow both of them. Also, avid Chief fans. You can follow them on the Twitters. They are both a solid follow on there. Dat Boy SKB for SK Bishop. That's DATBOI SKB. And then Campbell is Campbell Myers _. Those are your two gentlemen.
And both are wonderful Twitter follows. Most recently, Campbell. Campbell is a very assurant young man, let's say. That sometimes gets him into a little bit of trouble with some of the people who he's might be talking towards.
I would say Campbell and I are cut from the same cloth.
Campbell's a 15-year 15-year younger version of you for sure. Yeah.
At least 15 years.
I'm doing quick math. Give or take 15. I'm trying to
He's a youngin', but he does stir the shit, and it makes my heart happy.
Yep.
He's a good follow.
And SK is my boy, but he's one of those subtle, quiet joke tellers. Like he'll throw something at you, then you're just like just yesterday he put out there about he missed his 3-year-old's birthday yesterday, and I go, oh shit, I didn't even know he had a kid. Oh my God, that's terrible. Was he on the road? What happened? He goes, it's like my ex sent me a picture of it, and it was a picture of a dog wearing a little birthday hat. I go, you are an evil person to throw that out there. But it was wonderful. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Cheers to you both, actually.
Wow.
So the premiere.
Excellent.
If you're around the Midwest, you've probably already seen them. I know they do. They've done some traveling around. I think they've dipped up to the Northeast on a few rounds. And
yeah, they've. Indiana,
I know SK's
Iowa.
Talked about getting down to Atlanta and down south more as well too. So
yeah, they're everywhere. So be on the lookout for these guys. They are starting to grow their base. So when you see them in your local town, just remember, we told you they're amazing, and they are.
Yep. Go buy that merch. All right.
Yes.
So let's talk about some other stuff out there, Jamie. I don't know if you caught this or not, but I've been mildly checking in just periodically a little bit here and there since Triple H took over on NXT. It's still not my gig, but I didn't bother this week. And then I went on Twitter after, later on in the night, and I found out that apparently it's NXT 1.0 again, or the black and gold is back, baby.
Yeah, the black and gold's back. No more 2.0 is just NXT. Back home to where it belongs. Got rid of the damn spray paint tie-dye thing that did absolutely nothing to help it.
No. I love, and I hope to God. So this past week, once again, I didn't watch this, full disclosure, but this past week was one of their the premiere shows on TV. It was, I don't even know what it was, but it was one of their shows that they had, Worlds Collide or something. I don't remember, but whatever it was. And it ended with a video program package they showed on the big screen in the stadium or in the venue there, and it's kind of showed the NXT. And at the end was the NXT 2.0 and the logo getting shocked and lightninged and turned black and gold, and the 2.0 fell away. And if they don't open with Braun Breaker duct taping back together the black and gold NXT he tore apart on the first 2.0, I am going to be mad as hell. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I think it's karma, man. I think it's 100% karma because one, Bruce Pritchard put all their eggs into the Braun Breaker basket. And he's gonna be this new amazing guy. We've never seen anybody like him before. Even though we've seen that exact same guy 1,000 times. And he's got zero personality. So he's perfect for them.
He's got skill, but that's he's got skill and he's got heritage. right?
Yeah. He's a signer. He's on the wrong side of the signer tree for the charisma.
Oh, yes.
Like, I'm not. I know that sounds terrible, but Rick Steiner was not the charismatic one.
And you always have you have the talker and you have the doer in the tag teams, right?
Yeah, the big bad booty daddy was the talker.
Because the way I see it is, you got a 1 in 3 chance of getting NXT right, but then you got to remember there's actually 2 other people that are involved, so you actually have a 1 in 5 chance. So you 1 in 5 times 1 in 3. So now we're talking about a 75.3% chance, and then if you take sorry, I'm fucking it up already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
No, Shawn Michaels is in charge, and he's already in charge.
They are going. Well, to be fair, for what it is, like I made mention of, NXT has some things, right? Whether you like it or not, Mandy Rose's run has been very good down there. You've got, what are they calling her? Alba Fire now? They're calling Kaylee Ray. They've been giving back people's names left and right on the main roster. They better give her name back, because Alba Fire is fucking terrible, right?
It's pretty bad.
Carmelo Hayes, I didn't want to admit it at first, but that boy is a star.
Yeah, I was not feeling it at first, but then now I'm like, I feel it.
He's got skill. He's got mic skills. He's got good look. That boy's a star. They've got stuff down there, and there's talent around there. And apparently the whole edict thing about staying away from, indie wrestlers, both Shawn Michaels and Triple H are both like, nope. They're not going to exclusively look at indie wrestlers, like they did in the old days of NXT, but they're not going to be like the whole, we're only bringing in marketable people and college athletes and bullshit. So maybe there's hope after all for NXT.
Yeah. I mean, praise be to Sean and
Sean Hunter, 100%.
Yeah. Speaking of NXT,
okay, let's go there.
I don't know if I didn't even know this, but my Instagram, I never unfollowed somebody.
You probably should have.
Yeah. I totally should have. and this person did a Facebook Live, or Instagram Live thing, and I watched it.
It was on all platforms instantaneously. Don't worry, it was everywhere.
Yeah. So I was like, "What is this?" And so,
wow,
Velveteen Dream just recently was called out by EC3 for videotaping him urinating or whatever in the bathroom. And
EC3 is grasping for straws ever since Braun Strowman went back to WWE, man.
Yeah. So Velveteen Dream defended himself. Now, Velveteen Dream is in a lot of hot shit and everything like that, but I believe him. Like, for once, I believe him on this one, because he said him, EC3, and a guy who used to be in NXT, and a guy who's now on Raw, Raz House, and they were doing coke, and he was pissed drunk, and he was stupid drunk, him and his girl at the time, whatever. He said that his phone was in the bathroom. They went through it to show him nothing was on there. Like, he was insane, but he's like, you need to check your house first. Like, EC3 is a piece of shit.
Absolutely. I'm so glad that none of the big promotions went after him. They obviously knew more than we did, of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
My God, like it is a weird world when we're sitting here giving props to Velveteen Dream in a scandal scenario. It's like, what? But he put EC3 on blast, and he made what he said was, he implied that, because he said they were at a party at EC3's house, and there was a talent that was on NXT that's not with WWE anymore, and a talent that was in NXT at the time who's now on Raw as a talent. And him and EC3, and he said specifically that him and EC3 came to him for coke, and they went and did coke. We don't, but he implied that all four of them did. But he said that it's just him and EC3. But
he's like, what kind of powder's on there? He's like, cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yeah,
I mean, he's going to town on it, and it's like, wow. Now, funniest thing is because with all the stuff coming back, people have been asking the question: does Velveteen have a chance at a second shot? Which my answer would have always been, fuck no, of course not. He doesn't get a second shot, especially after he just got arrested like 2 months ago, right?
Yeah,
for some real ill shit.
He beat up some dude.
I mean,
yeah, no, he gets zero chances with me. Zero.
Very interesting. We know there's stuff that goes, and this is one of the interesting things. I think that, we see a lot of this from last couple weeks in AEW, right? About the pulling back the curtain, right? And really seeing what's going on there. Because to a man, everybody that's commented, used to be a talent or working the business or does still work in the business or whatever, as a podcast, whatever, all of them are just like, yeah, and I got in fights all the time backstage. What are you talking about? Like Tommy Dreamer's like, this is nothing. What this fucking shit, And I think that it's another thing too. Is like we know that this stuff happened, but to actually hear it and hear it directed is just, it's interesting, especially. Maybe the world gotten placated to not buy into all that, that wrestlers have gotten better in general, but they still do dumb shit.
Newsflash, people, there's still bad people out there.
Everywhere you go, there's bad people.
Bad people, a go. But yeah, thought that was a little nugget.
That's been very interesting. 100%. I saw that. Was like, okay, all right, yeah. Also, something interesting I saw yesterday online. It turns out that there's somebody in wrestling that's got some serious daddy issues.
Oh yeah.
You know who that somebody is? AEW's merchandising fucking department. Okay, so last week you get last week you get the Scissor Me Daddy ass shirt. Finally, for what it's worth, it's a good inside joke. It's the thing been going on. They're doing it's revitalized Billy Gunn's career, right? Scissor Me. So they finally got it for All Out. Now you have a Pin Me War Daddy shirt, which I know our good friend Heather is first in line to buy, right, Heather? You're all on that War Daddy shirt.
Yeah,
she's yelling and screaming at me in the comments right now. I can feel it, but
I can feel the hate type happening as we speak.
But Pin Me War Daddy, which John Silver modeled the best on Twitter, I will say.
Dude, that cracked me up so bad. At first he just had it made, which I thought was even funnier.
Because he would definitely do that.
No,
you can buy that at shopaew.com, and unfortunately, you can't buy this at shopaew.com. It's going to be a Grand Slam exclusive, at least to start, but there's the Scissor Me Daddy shirt now,
which I actually like that.
I love that. I love both of the Acclaim shirts. I don't hate the War Daddy one because it's so weird.
The only thing about that Acclaim shirt, I wish it was reversed and it was a pink shirt
with the black
lettering. That's all.
Well, maybe when they put it on a Top Rope Tuesday, when they finally release it to the public, because it's going to be a stadium exclusive, is what I've been told. So what they said, but yeah, it's like it took them forever to get the Scissor Me Daddy ass shirt, and now that they have that, they're just like, well, fuck it, let's just go. So you've got sexual innuendos all over the place, just daddy complex. I loved it, but I found that very interesting this past week.
That's pretty solid.
Well, we're a week out from, speaking of, let's stay on AEW. We're a week out from Grand Slam. So
Grand Slam. So the finals were set for the Grand Slam. Two very good matches between Moxley and Sammy, which Sammy got like the ultimate wedgie during it, which made me crack up. And then a very solid technical match between Jericho and Danielson again.
the again parts, I much preferred the Mox and Sammy match. Maybe it's because we just saw that match 2 weeks ago between Danielson and Jericho, but
literally just saw it. Like literally just saw it. No, like those were fine. I know it sets up the finals. Moxley's gonna win. I think it's very obvious Moxley's gonna win.
It is. It's Mox and Danielson in the finals, which I'm very happy for, honestly. I think that's good because the obvious thing to think of would have been Mox versus Jericho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Glad they didn't go with that.
Yeah, same. There's a few things that about the show that it was fine. Still only one women's match. It was good to see the development though of Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter like we were wanting. I really really enjoyed that aspect. I think there's a lot that can happen with that. And I want to dive into that for just a second.
I have a thought on that. So the match is actually yes. Tony, you could have done a second women's match. It's not that hard. You did give us 4 women though in a match. You're also giving us the same 4 women in a 4-way match next week for the interim title, though. So you're doing some WWE booking here with the women. You need to fucking stop that shit. Like, where's Ruby at? Well, hey, Ruby. She's recovering from a broken nose and a concussion.
Shocker.
So it didn't really matter who won this match, right? No. Jamie Hayter comes out, though, at the end because Britt used a chair to be dirty in it. Right? To get the victory. Doing heel shit. Yeah. And she comes out, and I want to point this out, in an all-black leotard thing, like a onesie thing. Okay? Just want to put a pin in that for a second. What is your thoughts on
it? It was definitely showing the separation. I think that was a big thing for me there, was Jamie's defecting from Britt. I don't feel like it's a face turn for Jamie at all. I feel like it is I'm also a heel, but I can feud with other heels moment. And it's gonna, honestly, this is a great moment for Jamie to get the Britt rub in this aspect to put her over, hopefully. Like they don't bury Jamie with Britt. Hopefully they put Jamie over on Britt.
I hope so too. She is already more over with the crowd. I mean, the crowd was all for her when she ran out at the end of the match. She grabbed the chair because they were beating up on Athena and Tony after the match, and she grabbed the chair from Britt and then hit Tony with it, and then went after Britt with it. So it's been a fan theory, but I'm starting to buy into it hardcore. Jamie Hayter on the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm starting to think about it, and this is why I say she came out in the all black. It's different from her, but it's very in line with the Blackpool Combat Club. She's English. She fits the bill for everything there. And you look at that, before the BCC was formed, Brian Danielson was going through this big heel phase, right? Okay?
Yeah.
Moxley's always been that fuck you, I'm just going to fight type of person, right?
Yeah.
They fought each other to make the Blackpool Combat Club. They beat in Wheeler Yuta into the Combat Club a gang, right? Claudio hasn't really like clearly defined himself as he's a face, but through his history, he's never really been a full face, except for a small time in post, So I don't know. I think that kind of tone the line thing goes along with that idea, and maybe I'm projecting, but I think it's a good thing to put her there into it because they have shown with the Blackpool Combat Club, they're doing that faction the most right, I think, in AEW right now. Because they're not all coming out like a group every time and rah-rah and being by each other's sides at 24/7. It's very much like a gym almost. And if they need to get together to beat somebody's ass, they will. But they're all basically from the same place is what it is. They're representing the Blackpool Combat Club. And I think that would give her a leg to stand on above and beyond Britt, because they put her over Britt. Well, then what do? You know? I don't know if you have her run solo on her own, but there's a guy who's got some talent, some experience with young female talent that, you know, runs an organization within AEW who I think would be good.
So my problem with that theory is, as soon as Jamie goes on to Blackpool Combat Club, she's a face. Doesn't matter. They all act separate, but they're all faces now. Like,
even though everybody loves the heel stuff, they're face. Sure, I hear you.
Yeah, and I think she has to stay heel, because if they do this right, and Jamie gets put over by Britt, she becomes top heel, and then she's so hot. Even though people are like, she's a heel, but she's a hot heel. Like, people still cheer for hot heels, like they did with Britt.
Yeah.
She can go for that belt against Tony and get the belt from Tony. That would make a lot of sense. Because then you put on a homegrown talent again, who's hot, who people are behind, and then she can stay heel. She can do whatever she wants at that point. Then she can go Blackpool Combat Club, you know. But I don't want to deter from her road to the belt, because I personally think she's the next one in line. She really is.
I think she makes the most sense to do this. You know, 100%. It made sense to put it on Tony Storm. You know, unless you turn Storm heel or whatever. You know, like everybody else who would be making sense besides Britt or Jamie is all face. Athena's face. You know, Ruby I'd put in that discussion if she didn't have her head kicked in by fucking amateurs.
Speaking of face, yeah.
Yep. You know, I would not put Tay or Jay up in that level, you know.
Nope. Nyla, but she's a tag team.
She's in a tag team thing, and they got that stuff going on there, you know. And
they got a beast problem. It's fine.
I would actually like to see Nyla eventually take the belt. I'd like to see Nyla turn face, because she never has been face in AEW, but outside the ring, she's the funniest motherfucker there is. I'd love to see her turn face and take the belt off of Jade. Yeah. Just saying.
Oh, that'd be great. She'd be the perfect one.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's have goofy ass Nyla, right? That still kicks your ass. But it may not right away, maybe. It doesn't need to be right away. But the reason I even say that, because I saw people like photoshopping her into BCC pictures and stuff. And that'd be cool. And I started to think about it. She is so over right now, but to me, she's got that female Moxley appeal, right? That's the type of kind of face she could be. Because Moxley technically he shouldn't be a face. The stuff that he does is very, very heely. You guys let us know. Book the women's. We do this every few months. Book the women's division for us. What do you think?
Yes, please. After you like and subscribe, it really helps us. Yeah, make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Comments too. That really helps the algorithm. Turn on the notification bell every time we have a new interview, something like that. Come right out. You'll be able to see it. Just saying. Tell your friends too. We're trying to grow this thing. No, okay. So let's pivot, because there is one other thing I really want to talk about of the entire show. The entire show is fine.
Show was fine. It wasn't the greatest. It was a build-up show. You had some good you had a couple promos here or there. Matches were fine. Cool.
Grand Slam's gonna be a big thing. I mean, aside from a few people being off suspension, reportedly, still can't confirm that, so I'm not gonna talk about it. There were two promos back to back and in line with each other. I want to say that I was really excited for both of these promos, and that would be a lie. I was really excited for one of them.
The first one.
MJF brought the noise.
And I love what he's doing with this reluctant, will not take your praise approach. It just makes people like him more. It's fan-fucking-tastic. fantastic. It's the smartest trick in the book. It's Shawn Michaels' original DX.
Yes, exactly. You're reading my mind. Like, he is doing everything. Like, Jericho, when he first came to WWE, he was supposed to be his top heel. People were cheering him. The Rock, people were cheering him, even though he was a complete asshole the entire time. Like, MJF is so over it hurts. And he came back at the exact right time. This company needs MJF. MJF right now doesn't need this company. And he's using that in his promo work and how he's talking to people. It is beautiful. It is a thing of beauty. And that's why I wanted to bring up was, you already hit the nail on the head. Like, what other storylines does this kind of remind you of?
It reminded me
Michaels
of
DX.
Shawn Michaels of DX, because that's the way he and people just feed in my mouth. They loved it, right?
Oh.
Maybe also, like the original NWO, right? Like people like Bischoff was legitimately surprised. They thought it was gonna. They rolled the dice with Hogan being heel, and they're like, "This is gonna fail. If he doesn't get over as a heel, this is gonna fail." And they didn't expect him to get over like that. Like NWO was shirts were. I had one. You had one. Everybody had one.
I had both. I had the white version and the Wolfpack version.
Yeah. So that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of very much because he's doing everything masterfully. Now the second part was the Stokely Hathaway bit. You weren't keen on this.
I didn't dig it, and I know what he was trying to do, and he was trying to set up the Firm, which is a terrible name, but it's better than Jericho Appreciation Society by a mile. So
I like the way MJF introduced them.
Same.
He called them the Stable on Retainer.
Yes, I loved it too.
That was good. But he didn't do anything wrong, Stokely did.
No.
It
was long.
Long, and it kind of like it came off of MJF's gold. It's sort of like, it's sort of like following the Stones in the 60s. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to follow these motherfuckers. What are you talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I know it was supposed to be a tee-up, and they definitely did a good job of making Ethan Page look good. He's got Danhausen on Rampage, which is arguably his best friend, which I think is great. It's just pissed me off a little bit because Stokely Hathaway can bring the noise, and it was just left me wanting. I'm like, I want Stokely Hathaway, damn it. I want the good Stokely Hathaway, and This was like mediocre Stokely Hathaway.
I think I honestly believe a lot of it was in part to how it fit in, like where it was, because he made the attempt to do that, right? He talked about how everything was a shill and this and that, fuck Jade Cargill, whatever, all that stuff, right? But you just didn't hear it because you heard all the good songs 5 minutes earlier, so you're tuned out. At least I did, right? He went through each one, told what their aspirations were, basically, which is kind of like too much foreshadowing, right? Lee Moriarty is going after this title, and he's going after the tag titles, and he wants to have that title. And it's like, okay, well, we know what they're going to be doing the next month. Great. Thanks.
Yeah. and then Morrissey.
Morrissey was funniest. I love that.
I know. He's like, you just want to be able to do whatever you want to do. And I just want to let you know, I love you, man. Hey, I told you I love you, man.
He goes to hug him, and he doesn't hug back.
Yeah,
that was the best part.
Pretty good.
The only other good part about that was that did bring us to the AEW debut of Luigi Primo. In the best way.
I don't get how he's over. I hate his gimmick so much.
I hate it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't know how, because it's like, it's not like it's the same videos that's been posted about him since not time, but for some reason this most recent one caught wind. I don't know why, but I will give them this. They grabbed that internet fad and they ran with it. They talk about New York being, here's what's his face backstage, and he's hey, New York's the home of pizza. Speaking of which, we have the wrestling's most famous pizza maker. Hey, it's me, Luigi Primo, and here comes Ethan Page with a face kick right to Luigi, and he's out. So I liked how they got rid of him just as fast as he came in. So he was the internet meme, at least. And hopefully that's all that. Although I did not like AEW on TNT retweeting the Luigi Primo viral video after Dynamite. That stop. Don't put him on Dark and don't do it.
Yeah, and we've seen him live. I remember the first, we saw him live at CSW. Mm-hmm. And I remember just sitting there.
Not a fan.
And that was Audrey's first show, and she's like, "What is that guy?" I'm like, "Girl, I have no idea." I had nothing.
Yeah, yep.
That
was the pre-show, wasn't it? Or was it the first match on the card?
It was the first real match. Yeah. And people were like, "Oh, PG Primo!" I'm like, who's this fucking guy? I felt like I was the pitching coach for Major League. Speaking of Wild Thing.
I mean, I get it's for the kids, whatever. But I did find it slightly funny that they pulled him out, just to get kicked in the face. Though that was good. They got right now the card is. So it's always kind of interesting when you look at this, these, especially when we're talking about here for Grand Slam, because technically Grand Slam is going to be 2 nights. So it's Dynamite plus Rampage. So on Rampage, they've got Hook and Action Bronson, which don't make this a habit of having music talent wrestle. Please, Tony. Going up against...
he's been trained from what I heard.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he can surprise us, right? I mean, shit. Bad Bunny surprised the fuck out of us, right?
Yeah.
But that's going to happen on Friday night. So there's 4 matches right now that are set in stone for Dynamite Grand Slam. You got Moxley versus Danielson, Swerve in Our Glory, who defended their titles wonderfully, I do want to say, against the Lucha Brothers last night.
Oh, that was an excellent match too, yeah.
Fantastic match. That did feature Pentagon doing a Canadian Destroyer on Keith Lee.
That was amazing. That's the highlight of the show. Highlight of the show.
Oh my God. So Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. You got Pac versus Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic title. And then you've got the women's 4-way, Toni Storm, Serena Deeb, Athena, and Britt Baker. Those are only 4 matches right now that are announced for next Wednesday. So there'll be 2 more in there somewhere, whatever they may be.
Yeah. War Daddy, probably.
Pin me, War Daddy.
So bad.
I have one other AEW thing I wanted to bring up. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
I have one more thing after Dynamite. Yeah.
Okay. So let me know. If this is yours, I apologize. But my other thing that kind of came across the wire earlier in the week was Hangman Adam Page. Is that what you were going to talk about?
No.
Okay, good. So did you see his heartfelt note talking about the Dark Order?
No.
Okay, so he wrote on Instagram, and it got retweeted as everywhere else. But he wrote this love letter almost sort of thing. It's showing appreciation, basically, whatever, not to the Elite also, but to Dark Order. It's not a farewell note. Hangman's not going anywhere. We know this. But it made it sound like it's the end of something for sure. So he talked about this coming into the company, all this stuff, and then, how he was unsure about moving forward with the angle after Brody died, because that was always the plan, was for him to ascend under Brody's wing to that level, right? They laid the seeds on being the Elite, and they were going to do that. But they stuck with it, and they all were there beside them. He went by each one of them by name. Talked about how him and Alex Reynolds, kids are born 5 days apart, and they're like dad buddies, right? John Silver can turn his frown upside down anytime. He talked about 10 and Uno, and even Alan Angel's small penis and Anna Jay, and it sounded like a farewell letter of sorts, right? And then at the end, of course, he said as well, he gave love to, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Problem is, to me, it sounds like a farewell to the Dark Order letter. Rumor mill, from what people are saying, the rumors on the internet, take them for what they will, I know. But they're stirring, talking about how the Dark Order's days are numbered. They're saying 10 might be the next to go from the group, maybe from the company, potentially to be part of Andrade's, because that's the angle they've been going.
Yeah.
There's been rumors that Uno might move to be just working for AEW games and no longer be in front of the, an on-air talent, kind of like Leva Bates, but, for AEW video games, which is, he likes doing that. He has 2 contracts with AEW. I don't know if everybody knew that or not. He's been very, very clear about it, if you follow him on Twitch at all, or AEW Games, if you follow them at all. He's been very clear that he's a wrestler, and he is the lead on-air personality and producer and everything for AEW Games. So, they've been whittling away at the Dark Order for a bit. It makes sense story-wise because there's not a lot of meat on the bones, especially because they did this whole angle and they didn't give him the Trios title. What are your thoughts about No More Dark Order potentially?
I hope not, but I get it.
Can a Dark Order be resuscitated right at this time? I don't think it can. I think the way it's been wrote and it's been booked, got rid of Stu.
Yeah, Stu's gone, Anna Jay's gone, Colt's gone to Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, but he's not doing Dark Order stuff anymore.
Yeah,
5's gone.
5's gone. 10 it's very obvious he's gonna end up going to Andrade. Yeah, I feel like it's over.
I don't know where else you go with it. And, Silver and Reynolds could be fine as a tag team by themselves, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd be fine with that. 10 might need to have something restructured, because they never really fully capitalize on him. He's still young. He's still green, Yeah. And I love Evil Uno to death. I know Evil Uno does singles matches on his indie scene. It's him and Stu are the Dark Order, though. And not having Stu there, it hurts Evil. Hurts Uno.
It does.
So I would almost rather see them mercifully kill it with the potential of one day, you might bring it back, right? Who knows?
It'd be cool, man.
Resign Stu one day and, because they left on good terms. AEW and Stu did, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like, though. It was very interesting. You have to go check it. After this, I'll direct you. I'll have you look it up.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a very interesting letter, though, so. I hope not. Well, in a way, I kind of hope so, because there's not really room for the Dark Order anymore, and I'd rather see them get their opportunity to do what they need to do. So, anyway, what was your last thing?
So, my last thing is actually outside of the world of All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
And mine...
What you got?
...is actually in the world of women of wrestling.
Ooh. Wow.
Yes. So I want to give a huge ass shout out and a very sincere good luck to our good friend, Heidi Howitzer, aka Wrecking Ball, and Women of Wrestling. Everybody, she makes her debut on the 17th, so that's in 2 days from now. She'll be making her official debut on Women of Wrestling on YouTube. Go check it out. Give her Women of Wrestling Twitter follow. She's great. She's what, at Wrecking Ball Wow. So it's pretty simple. And again, Heidi is an amazing Twitter follow, but the fact that Heidi has a conversation with Wrecking Ball on Twitter is a whole new level of awesomeness. Like, you gotta do yourself a favor.
And I don't know. I know locally, if you're in Kansas City, Women in Wrestling is actually going to be, I think it might start this week or maybe it's later this month, but they're doing Saturday nights. They're going to be on KCWE, Channel 29, locally in Kansas City. If you don't live in Kansas City, I might look them up. Look them up. They might be on, because they're doing some syndication with it as well, but they are definitely on YouTube, Women of Wrestling. Or it's Wow Superstars. What is their official? Do you know what their official YouTube is? I'll look it up. I'll put a link down below. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think it's Wow Superheroes.
Wow Superstars, superhero. 100%. And if we don't get a string of Miley Cyrus gifts sent out to her on Saturday night, I'm gonna cry. So please tweet at her.
Or if you can get her like yelling on a wrecking ball, like, you know, the scene, like, you know, put her head on there.
I can Photoshop shit, dude. It's happening.
Well, then we need to get those made for the 30th.
It's on.
And then
Rob, our friend Robin's got to hit me up. Robin, hit me up. We're gonna craft it up. I'll do the graphics. You do the crafting. It's gonna happen. But absolutely, please follow her. Please give her love. She's putting the work. She is. If you have not seen, we talked about her a lot on here, and if you have not had the pleasure of seeing our friend Heidi or Wrecking Ball, give her the look. She's a fantastic character, fantastic person, great wrestler. And I tell you what, Wow's been doing some killer stuff. I know another Journey Pro, a friend of Journey Pro, Sarah the Rebel. She was going to retire. She's kind of had and then she's got back in. She's had a good storyline going on there as well.
Yep. Resurgence there.
You know,
Ray
I know
Lynn's on there as Rachel.
Mm-hmm, Ray Lynn, absolutely, who has probably the cutest dog I've ever seen in my life. I'm just saying. I know that there was a little bit of drama. Kiera Hogan did an interview recently where she was kind of dogging on WoW because before they went on hiatus from their previous iteration, her and Diamante, they were the tag champs, and she's a little perturbed that they didn't ask them to at least come back and drop the belts or at least be involved at all, you know. She felt they did some good stuff there. But they've got a lot of good talent on WoW. A lot of talent you've seen around other indie promotions as well. So
For sure.
I'd love to see them do a traveling show too, you know, because hey, I think that could sell some tickets.
I agree. I mean, they automatically have more women's wrestling than AEW has on all of their programs.
It doesn't take much. It takes 2 matches. So 2 matches, Tony. Fucking 2 matches. Go follow all of Heidi's stuff. I'll have her stuff down here too. So I'll put all that down there as well.
Yeah. So you got 2 independent wrestler spotlights. Boom.
Sort of. Well, 3 if you really want to get technical. You didn't go full Michael Reed on us though. What's up, Mike?
That's fair.
I love you, Mike, but I said, hey, you just give me a guy. If you got 1 or 2 if you want, and it gives me all of North Texas independent wrestling. Like, Jesus Christ, stop it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's funny.
Awesome. Well, I think that's what we got for you guys this week. So I know we ran a little long today. So hey, thank you guys for sticking with us. Lots of news going on here. Give us your comments. Tweet us. Give us a comment down below. Fantasy book the AEW Women's Division. Tell us what you think of the PWI. Here's what I really want to know. Does anybody over there even actually give a shit about the PWI anymore? Let's be real. We all talk about it every year, and we all bitch about it afterwards. Does anybody listening, do you guys actually care about that? Let me know. We'll be back next week. Same bat time. same bet channel. We will have talk about what happened in New York, other goings on happening around the world. I'm gonna check in NXT on Tuesday. I want to see like. How, are we going back to like metal music intro and everything, or is this just going to be a gradual? It's probably going to be a gradual.
Yeah, if Poppy comes out, we know what's up.
Yes. Poppy comes out, and there's chainmail all over Braun Breaker or something. Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
So we'll be back. I said next week. We'll let you know what's going on here. Give us a shout. Give us a follow. Be kind to one another and go watch some independent wrestling if you're local. 17th down in Edwardsville. Free show, 1 to 4. Edwardsville Autumn Fest. Go check out Journey Pro. We will see you guys next week. Jamie, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, I have 3 words for you. Follow Wrecking Ball.
She never meant to hurt you. See you guys next week.
Peace.